People, my people, my people, my people, my people. I call on her 3 times. My people, now how in a day I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending from where you're listening to the sound of my voice. This is the Biafra Superstars Media, and I'm holding it down. I say, may God bless Biafra, and may God bless His Excellency Oyendo Nnamdi Kanu. May God bless, may God bless, may God bless, may God bless His Excellency, the Prime Minister of Biafra, USB, His Excellency, ESN, Ekpa, Simon and Joko, for the job Simon is doing. Simon, I want to say we thank you. We appreciate you. We love you because we know in your hands, Biafra has come. In your hands, Biafra will be safe. And in your hands, now that Biafra has come, the people of Biafra will rejoice. When we say the people, I mean the men, the women, the children, the old, the young, the sick, the mild, the gentle, the civilized and the uncivilized, those born in Biafra and those born in the bite of Biafra. We shall all come together under one voice, under one accord, under one union, and under one God to scream for Hallelujah Day, the day that the God of Biafra has made. My fellow Biafrans, today we have heard from the Nigerian media what they said Mr. Umahi is saying. He's saying that we the Biafrans, we are no longer marginalized in Nigeria. That everything is fine. We are now living a life of El Dorado. That under the Tinubu government, Jagaban and Milokon, things are going well. So today, I want to remind this idiot that he cannot speak for us. If the people don't choose you to speak for us, if you are not chosen by the people to advocate for the Biafrans, then you have no right to speak for us. So at this point, before I go any much further, let us hear from the Nigerian media what they are saying about this so-called statement made by Mr. Umahi. If you are ready, let's go there. Listen, I'm very pissed off, but I'll remain calm. Listen.
All right, we'll take out of the story now. The Minister of Works, Umahi, has sparked a debate online after declaring that Igbo people are no longer marginalized in Nigeria, insisting there's no justification for continuing agitation for a separate Biafran state. The former Ebonyi State governor made the assertion while inspecting federal projects in the southeast, crediting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration with unprecedented integration of the region into Nigeria's national development. Umahi argued that sentiments of marginalization that once fueled separatist movement have eased significantly due to massive infrastructure investments across the southeast region. Let's take a look.
In the past administration, our people felt very much marginalized more than they were ever marginalized. That was the reason the people were agitating for Biafra. And I can say today that we are well integrated into the mainstream of the nation Nigeria. And so we are very grateful to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. There will be no need for Biafra again. We are comfortable with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It is not all about point.
Let me see this guy's face. Take it back a bit, I beg. Let me see this man's face. He's using the word we. We are comfortable with the government of Ahmed Tinubu. Ahmed Tinubu. There will be no need for Biafra again. You see, this is the problem. After they all colluded to kidnap Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, brought him to Nigeria, held him for 5 years and counting, they now, through some criminal ways, locked him up in jail in Fairway, Sokoto, to rub salt in our injury. People like this, people with Fulani blood in them, they have come in the public to insult us. This is a classic example of kicking a man when he's down. At a time when we are mourning for our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. At a time when the land of Biafra is bleeding. Imbeciles like this will come out and speak. And to the Nigerian media and those who say they believe in Nigeria, these are the ones you were asking us to go and discuss with. If you want your freedom, go and discuss with your politicians. They will be the one to table the matter to the federal government. That was the advice being given to us by those that believe in Nigeria. But I hope now you see the way these animals, they reason. I hope now you see their level of intellect. Their ability to reason like human beings. You see the way they speak. Bowing down, kissing down, because them and their family, they're enjoying the best of life. They are in government, so everything is fine. As long as their family, themselves, their concubines, are having the best of life, then it means Biafra land is safe. It means God has blessed the people of Biafra, because these animals, look at those they say they represent us in your so-called Nigerian government. See the way they reason. Well, I hope those that were blaming Nnamdi Kanu, I hope now you see why we did the way we carried out our own activities. Because this meant they would not even listen. Not even when the Yorubas had their own Amotekun. When they knew that the terrorists were coming, the Yoruba, they yield to the gospel of Nnamdi Kanu, that the terrorists were coming. But our own so-called governors, they kept quiet. They were bowing down to the Buhari government. And they did nothing to secure the land of Biafra until Nnamdi Kanu took it upon himself to create a voluntary force, the ESN, Eastern Security Network, whose sole job is to be out there in the bushes, to be out there in the outskirts of the Biafra land, at the boundaries of Biafra land, never to come out to the cities, but remain in the bushes to protect the land of Biafra. That way our mothers, our women, our sisters, our farmers can go to farm. Everything was good, going peaceful until these same men, they came to proscribe IPOB. And they formed a militia group known as Ebubeago and the Special Forces. They allowed the contractors like Asari Dokubo to come to the land of Biafra with his own men, special forces, to come and kill us, to kill the youths. And when they kill us, they target IPOB and ESN under the watch of men like this. This murderer is now here speaking on behalf of the Biafrans. Man, the audacity of this man to do what he's doing now. That shows you how much they hate us with a passion. How self-centered they are. This idiot was promised he will be president by the Buhari government. Hence, he gave the Fulani Cabal the biggest land in Ebonyi State to build a mosque. Not only that, they ended up building a very small mosque, but in a very large community, where the Fulani, Mietiala, the headsmen, they are now residing in that community. This is how foolish this man is. A man who will kill the whole world to save himself and his family. You see, this is why we took it upon our hands that Biafra will come through us. We living in diaspora, Biafra will come through us, not through animals like this, imbeciles like this idiot here. Yes, to him, he's living the best of life. So yes, the Igbos, as they call it, are no longer marginalized. We're not living in the world of El Dorado. Everything is fine now. There is equity in the land, equality. You can feel the policies of the government in the Southeast, as they call it. When it comes to the monetary policy, the fiscal policies, the investment of government, as they call it, is now in Biafra land. But we still have to fly from Biafra to Lagos in order to travel abroad. We still have to go to the land of the Yorubas in order to fly abroad. We still have to go to the north, Abuja, in order for the Biafrans to fly abroad. And this fool here is saying everything is fine. Ordinarily, the low-hanging fruits, we don't have it. The low-hanging fruits of creating an international airport where if you are coming from New York, you can fly straight to Enugu. You can fly straight to Port Harcourt. You can fly straight to Delta. We don't have it. This idiot built an airline or something? An airport. Something I tagged the White Elephant Project. After he stole as much as possible, he built a White Elephant Project that he called an airport. Till this day, there is no license for anyone to fly an international flight from there. Yet to this fool, this idiot here is saying the Igbos are no longer marginalized. Now you see why Simon Ekpa speaks the way he speaks. Now you see why Nnamdi Kanu is ready to die for the liberation of these people. Men like this cannot be trusted. Men like this, they will eat a porridge of yam just to sabotage their own people. Men like this, all they want is to be at the corridors of power. And that way they will throw away their own people. From his dirty mouth, he's saying the Igbos are no longer marginalized. But when it comes to business, we are known for business. When it comes to business, we are number one. And in economics, to have a comparative advantage and a competitive advantage against your neighbors, you must invest in those areas where you know those people, they have the technical know-how, where you have advantage over your rivals like Ghana, South Africa, and the rest of them. If you know the Igbos, they are king of business in Africa, if not in the world. Then why don't you give them a seaport? So that way they can export their goods. So that way when they import things, the cost will be low than going from Lagos down to the southeast. In the economies of scale, to have a competitive advantage and to grow the economy, it must be at that point where marginal cost is equals to marginal revenue and the marginal cost curve is about to rise. To these guys, they will think I'm speaking Spanish or French because they don't even understand what it means that a businessman, those who in their DNA, it is to do business. They and business, they're like bread and butter. They have to go to a foreign land to go and import or export their goods. They have to go to Lagos. No seaport in Biafra land. Even the North that don't even know how to do their business, they have a dry seaport in the desert. They invested a dry seaport in the desert in the North. And this imbecile is here saying there is no marginalization of the Biafrans. Can you see what Nigeria is doing? Can't you see it? They rather keep things the way it is. That when it comes to importation, it has to be in Lagos, MPA. When it comes to controlling your crude oil, yes, the Hausa can have it. The Fulanis can have it. When it comes to doing business that they know you are the best in it, they say, no, we won't give it to you. There will be no seaport for you. There will be no international seaport for you. You will have to go down to the land of the Yorubas to do your business. You see, this is the anger I have when I reminisce and reflect on the video of that young girl who was attacking and insulting Nnamdi Kanu. I asked myself, when will she make a video and condemn people like this? When will that young girl who was shouting, insulting Nnamdi Kanu in that video, that's the Nigerian media, they were so happy to make go viral? When will she speak about the ills When will she condemn the utterances of their so-called politicians? I can see she's already leveling up. She's already trying to become the next politician in line. She's already working in the National Assembly as an apprentice. She's already doing mock interviews, mock the debates. What you saw her say or do in that video was a mock debate, where they were debating like senators and House of Rep members. And she was so ill talking about Nnamdi Kanu. She put the whole blame of what is happening in the Southeast on the shoulder of Nnamdi Kanu. But men like this who are telling the oppressors that we are now fine. Master, we are fine. Everything is fine in the Southeast. Men like this are doing the job for the caliphate. Men like this are doing the job for the Yoruba politicians. Men like David Umahi are doing the job for the oppressors, telling them we are now fine. For the fact I am now a minister, everything is fine in the Southeast. Men like this, to have the love and the approval of Tinubu, they speak the way they speak. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. And people like this are who the media are asking us to go to table down our differences, our issues with Nigeria. You all must be mad. This is why we shall fight and defend Biafra land from animals like this. I'll fall back. Let us listen to what the media has to say and watch how they will laugh about the nonsense this man is saying. The baloney this idiot is saying. Watch the way they will handle it in the media. Listen.
Listen, the people who are debating for Biafra. And I can say today that we are well integrated into the mainstream of the nation Nigeria. And so we are very grateful to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. There will be no need for Biafra again. We are comfortable with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It is not all about appointment. And even if you come to appointment, this minister of works, this minister that the president is using to do works in all the things of the political zones, the Southeast is benefiting very well. We cannot be the first and yet we are not the last. But in the past, we are not just the last. We were forgotten, we were not remembered. But the president has done that. So my brothers and sisters, we cannot retake our rightful position by sentiments and phenomenal statements. It is by realities and being strategic. And supporting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is being strategic.
All right, this is an interesting development in Nigeria's political discourse. For years, infrastructure deficit has been a legitimate grievance in the Southeast. The marginalization debate remains open, but Umahi's focus on tangible development is worth noting. The second Niger Bridge, the Enugu-Port Harcourt Road, and other projects he mentioned represent real investments that improve lives and connectivity.
But you are lying about that. You are wrong. We don't need those nonsense. All we need is the seaports and the international airports. That's all we need for Nigeria. Keep the rest. We are already a nation. If they really want to so-called invest in Biafra land, all we need till this day is just a seaport and an international airport. Then watch us grow and become who we're supposed to be. We're beggars. Your same country that you believe in, they gave us 20 pounds to eat and die, to eat and become the beggars of Nigeria, to become the almajiri of Nigeria, the intention of Nigeria after the Biafran genocide that you call a civil war was to turn the Biafrans to become the beggars, the servitudes of Nigeria, the almajiri of Nigeria. That was the intention of giving us 20 pounds. They don't care how much you have in your account, how much savings you have, how much investments you have. I keep saying it when it comes to real estate. My dad was a pioneer back then, and all the real estate he had, he lost everything. More than 10 homes back then in the 60s. He lost everything. They called it the abandoned property. So please, stop all this tangible, low-hanging fruit stuff people are talking about. All we need from that zoo called Nigeria is a seaport where we can do business with our own stuff, import and export, and an international airport. That's all we need. An international seaport and an international airport. Do you leave the rest for us? We don't need anything more from you after that. All we need is just a seaport and an international airport. That's it. Nigeria knows what they are doing, but they are cutting their nose just to spite their face. Look at South Africa. Last time I did an analysis, they have about 11 functioning seaports. Of the 11, 9 of them are international seaports. Talk less of the airports they've got all across South Africa. Even your neighbor Ghana they are doing well. But in Nigeria, you run a tribalized economy. You claim to be the giant of Africa, but till this day, you are still juxtaposing, doing what you are doing, mesmerizing the whole people to believe that you are doing well. Everything must go through Lagos and Abuja. And you ask yourself, is that real development? Look at the seaports in Lagos, already choked up, operating beyond the capacity to even maximize your profits. You have gone beyond the curve. You are making a loss because you are not maximizing your profit. Sometimes to maximize your profit, it means if you have one office, one branch of your business, and now the demand for your products are now higher than the supply, your limited office, your limited branch cannot deal with the amount of demand. Then that's when you now say, okay, time to expand, open a second branch. That's why businesses, they have franchise all across the whole world. You open more outlets in order to meet the demand, and that way you are maximizing your profits. In economics, I quote, to maximize the profit, it is when you are operating at that point where the marginal cost is equals to marginal revenue. And the marginal cost curve is about to rise. You see, we are intellectuals. Oh. We are intellectuals. I have looked through and through. The only way to get freedom from my people is to fight for the liberation of Biafra. Because we are tired of living this kind of life. In the Western world, we are here, being given the opportunity by the white man to do the best and uplift the life of the white man. Some of you don't know that the Gen Zs in the Western world, their children, they don't want to work. They don't even care about education. All they want to do is do drugs, smoke, drink, have fun. It is the migrant, the children of the migrants that are putting in that work to make the Western world to still maintain their great status, their greatness. But in Nigeria, in Africa, you stop those who are helping the white man to be great. You stop us from developing our own people or from liberating them. Sometimes things like this, it makes me go gaga. I say, what the hell is going on here? How can you compete with Ghana? How can you compete with South Africa? How can you compete with even Ethiopia here? When they are expanding. They are reaching out to bring in more revenue. But you say no, for us, so when it's import, it is the MPL, it's only in Lagos, so we don't care. That way you are limiting yourself. As a nation, you cannot compete with the League of Nations. That's what they call marginalization, because you know deep inside, the next thing to expand, you must move to the eastern region and allow the presence of the government to be felt. But you said no. And today now it has caught up to you guys, because now you are struggling. You are now like a local champion. In your Lagos, you are happy. Yes, in your Lagos, we are making the revenue. Everybody has to come to Lagos to do their business. But in South Africa, they go different places, to Joburg or Cape Town or Pretoria. Everywhere there is businesses competing among themselves. And when they compete, they create a healthy economy in South Africa. Their GDP is growing. Their import is less, export is increasing. When it comes to terms of trade, they are looking at these things. Price is coming down because they are producing more within their economy. But you guys, what you want to do is steal as much as possible. Steal the money and go and buy houses in UAE and be doing Airbnb. Your politicians, most of them now, they are doing Airbnb in Dubai, UAE, and the rest of them. Airbnb, shameless animals. They call it real estate, but no, they steal your money and they are doing Airbnb in the Western world. The same money that they're supposed to use to build the economy. Why not steal and still build and develop your so-called country? No. Because you know Nigeria is a false. Nigeria is a dog-eat-dog world. Nigeria is a banana republic. You know Nigeria is a shithole, disgraced country. That's why when you make the money, when you steal the money from Nigeria, the first thing you do is run out of the country, buy real estates, and you sublet it as Airbnb. You buy aircraft and you rent them out. You think we are stupid? You think we don't know what's going on? Men like Dave Umahi cannot speak for us. Because he's happy with the system. He's happy to eat from the crumbs. He's happy to be the good boy of the Nigerian government. That way, to deal with the Southeast, they'll have to go through him. Oh yes, he's one of us. He's happy with us. Let's make him a minister. Oh yes, there is this job here. Let's call his son. His son, we can give her to become the PA. Dave Umahi is nice to us. Let's make him the PA. This is how shallow these people think. This is how they think. We the Biafrans, we're like a big fish in a small pond. We are like a big fish in a small Nigeria. A small pond like Nigeria. They want to slow us down. They want to sabotage us because of tribalism and nepotism. But let's continue. Let me give them the floor to discuss. Ojiokwe, Oya, after you.
And being strategic. And supporting President Bola Tinubu is being strategic.
All right, this is an interesting development in Nigeria's political discourse. For years, infrastructure deficit has been a legitimate grievance in the Southeast. The marginalization debate remains open, but Umahi's focus on tangible development is worth noting. The second Niger Bridge, the Enugu Port Harcourt Road, and other projects he mentioned represent real investments that improve lives and connectivity. These efforts deserve expansion and sustained commitment. Of course, reactions have trailed, and I'll take one. This person wrote, infrastructure doesn't erase decades of exclusion. Roads aren't representation, and a minister does not get to declare people's grievances over because contracts were awarded. This is politics, not healing. Another ex-user wrote, finally, a leader who sees that development is the best way to handle agitation. If the Southeast is getting its fair share of infrastructure and key appointments like the Works Ministry, then the focus should shift to building a stronger Nigeria together. Good roads and the SEDC are steps in the right direction. Huge debate, Rufy on fire.
Anyway, Umahi is a politician. You know the thing about politicians, they will say anything. as long as they are empowered, they are tilted towards a particular position. He will say anything. What do you expect Umahi to say about President Tinubu?
Well
He's
said.
Minister of Works. He's the one commissioning projects. He will say that Igbos are not marginalized. In fact, at this rate, I even say that, I'm not saying he said it, please don't get me wrong. At this rate, I even said that no hurt was done during the Civil War.
Well said.
But please, if you believe Igbos are not marginalized, then you will believe that osmosis is the name of a Turkish footballer.
Well said.
Igbos are highly marginalized. Very, very marginalized.
God bless you, my very good friend, Rufai Yoseni. A man I respect and appreciate. You see, sometimes the truth is very bitter, but every bite of it is sweet. They say the truth is very, very bitter, but every bite of it is sweet. Respect to Rufai Yoseni. You all crowned him the best journalist in Nigeria. Well, who am I to say otherwise? But at least, somebody from the other side. I am glad that a Yoruba man is speaking this way. A Yoruba man is speaking this way because not all of them will speak this way. But we are glad that Rufai Yoseni is calling a spade a spade. And because of that, I'm saying respect to my good friend. A man I respect, I appreciate. A man I adore. Rufai Yoseni. Sometimes I might spar with you intellectually. That's because I respect you. So don't get it twisted. When I go out sometimes out of my way, to address whatever you say, it's out of respect and love. So respect to my friend here, my good brother, Rufai Yoseni, for calling a spade a spade. Because these are the lies they tell to the Igbos every time. That right now, as we speak, people are now going against Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu, when he started, he only asked for basic things. Seaport, not in Southeast though. In Port Harcourt there, allow it to be functioning. That was all he asked for. Why don't we have an international airport here? Why must we be traveling all the way? Think about that. Somebody wants to go to USA from the Southeast. You must fly to Lagos. From Lagos, you now book a hotel to stay for the whole night. Imagine the risk of doing that, the cost of doing that. You book a hotel. It means you are traveling within the traveling to your destination to USA. From Biafra land, you will fly. These days, it's flying. And to fly now, at least 1.2 million. The cheapest ones. You spend 1.2 million from Southeast to Lagos. Then you book a hotel close to the airport. You spend another 100,000 or something. And the next day you continue with your journey and fly to USA or wherever. And then when coming back in future, from USA you fly to Lagos. If you land in the night, you have to wait there and relax and rest. You book a hotel, Airbnb or whatever in Lagos. And you sleep for the night. If your family are coming to the airport to see you, they will have to book a hotel from Southeast to Lagos. Book the hotel in Lagos and wait. Imagine the cost. Imagine the thing you have to go through. The itineraries you have to go through to travel. But here in the Western world, anywhere I am going to, all I have to do is sit at the comfort of my home. Not even on my computer, on my smartphone. I can easily book a flight here. Okay, for Christmas, where do I want to go? You book it. And once you book your flight, the airport you are using is in most cases less than 30 minutes from where you live. Lord have mercy. White man no get two heads now. In most cases, you are traveling from USA to maybe Mexico for the Christmas or anywhere. All you have to do is book your flight online. And next thing, you are booking your Uber, taxi, to come to your house to pick you up. And in less than 30 minutes, you are at the airport. you check in and you take your flight to your destination. On your return, the same thing. The moment the flight touched down, you know in less than 30 minutes, you'll be at the comfort of your home, having a very warm shower, your jacuzzi and the rest of them, and sleeping in your bed. To an extent, the Yorubas can enjoy this. Those who live in Lagos and around, they can enjoy this. They can fly from anywhere in the country or in the world down to Lagos. From Lagos, they can relax and go to their homes. But we, the Biafrans, we have to go from USA to Lagos. From Lagos, you now wait there in the night or in the daytime. You book your hotel and sleep overnight in that hotel. And then you are hustling, looking for flights. Because to take road now is very, very dangerous. Road is like 8 hours. It is dangerous. Your family will tell you, please don't take flight. You have to now book flight. Thank God for Airpeace and the rest of them. You spend now 1 million minimum to fly from Lagos to Biafra land. And when you get there, perhaps in Owerri, you will now find a way again to take transport to your village. Can you imagine the risk and the cost of doing that travel? Those are the signs to know when a region is marginalized, when the basic services that you need are not around you. The basic amenities, airports, seaports, road, water, shelter, job, factories, business factories all across you, jobs. There are some countries you will go to in the Western world. Some countryside are named countryside for a reason, because those are the places where those are conserved areas. They are conservative areas where, okay, they want this place to be green. So there will be no airport, no seaport, no even grocery stores around that area to limit the traffic, the through and flow of traffic, because traffic and cars, they give out CO2, which is harmful to the economy or to the environment. So that's the only time you see places that lack those amenities, but they are intentional. It was done that way intentionally to make sure there are no, there are no jobs around, no factories around those places. That's how Nigeria is treating the Southeast. That those that when it comes to business now, they are number one. When it comes to business, they are number one. When it comes to buying and selling, we are number one. When it comes to shoemaking, art, crafts, market, we are number one. Yet we don't have the amenities there. We don't have the facilities to build upon what we are good at. We have to travel to Lagos. Think about that. You see, people like this, like Dave Umahi, when they talk, they are talking based on politics, as this guy just said here. They are politicians. They will appease those that put them in power. But when the real men talk, that have the heart, that cares about the people, men like Nnamdi Kanu, when they speak, it is this same Dave Umahi and the rest of them that went in the public to prescribe IPOB and ESN for the Buhari government, which gave the Buhari government the leeway to come in, and now they are calling us international terrorists. They are now calling IPOB terrorists. People like me, they see me as a terrorist, somebody who is an intellectual, that in the Western world, yeah, they respect me to a level that whatever I need, I have it. I know the number of teams I'm managing, I'm training here in the Western world. But in that zoo, because they are so tribalistic and myopic, they will see us, condemn us as terrorists. Now you understand why the Western world, they are not prescribing IPOB as terrorists, because they have done a research on us. They know who we are. They know what we want is what they want as well. Freedom. In pursuit of happiness. The ability to enjoy life, to appreciate you who you are as a human being. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. But let's continue. Let us continue and hear our brother Rufayuseni. Take it back and listen.
I'm not saying he said it too, please don't get me wrong. At this rate, the guy even said that no hurt was done during the Civil War. But please, if you believe Igbos are not marginalized, then you will believe that osmosis is the name of a Turkish footballer. Igbos are highly marginalized. Very, very marginalized. In many areas. In areas of government contracts, in areas of presidency. That's why we advocated during the last presidency. So since the return to democracy, so is it not right for an Igbo man to be president? Yoruba has been president. Abinobiso. Hausa Fulani, Fulani has been president. Abinobiso. Where is an Igbo man there? Ijo has been president. Where is an Igbo man there? And you're saying they are not grossly marginalized? Even the infrastructure that he's talking about, we saw railway in other parts of the country. How many rail? During this Christmas period, if infrastructure has been greatly done in Southeast, people should be using rail to travel everywhere now. How much is it? See the way we're celebrating Second Niger Bridge. As it was a big project.
Yes.
And for what is worth, how many roads are they doing in the Southeast that they are shouting, what's it called? Is it the Southeast that everywhere you go, checkpoint? Is it easy on the people?
God bless
so
you.
It's not, he should not even say that.
Hey.
And that's why the other day, when Baribe was saying that some people don't even have the nerve to come and say some people that come and support Tinubu.
Okay.
He made a strong point there. See, so he should not even say that. But what do you expect him to say? He's in Tinubu's government. He's enjoying the government.
All right. Okay, Dr. Bati, I know that you need to speak on this topic. So Umahi is saying here that no need for Biafra agitation.
No, with due respect, I disagree on this point with the Minister of Works.
Okay.
Now, I don't think there will be many Igbo people who will agree with him on the point of marginalization.
Okay.
Not about Biafra. Because we always say, in theory, that the Civil War has not ended.
Okay. Good.
And there are a lot of Igbo people, majority of them, who think that Igbos have not been given their due in Nigeria since the no victor, no vanquish mantra of 1967.
Okay.
This Lagos, there are landlords that will not give an Igbo man a shop to rent,
Okay.
not to talk of a flat.
That's
because
true.
they say Igbos, when they come to the environment, they will spread like cancer. So there are many Igbos who will not agree with Dr. Umahi, Senator Umahi, who will say that he's speaking like that because
Professor Umahi.
Yes, he's pro-Tinubu or that, he's in government. Number two is that beyond Igbo land, one of the problems we have in this Nigeria is that all of us feel marginalized. Yoruba people, are you not aware that Yoruba people also say they've been marginalized? That's why.
I heard that from you.
Yes,
this morning.
What was the struggle?
Yes.
Sunday IGBO all about? Professor Banji Akintoye. In fact, at a time in Ibadan, they were hosting Yoruba Odua nation flags.
Yes, I remember taking that.
Now, why do you think that Northerners are fighting President Tinubu? They are saying that under President Tinubu's administration, they are also being marginalized. Okay, minorities since 1958, Willings Commission. They've been saying minority groups, either in the Middle Belt or in the South-South, are also marginalized. So Nigerians have this sense of marginalization because of the issues raised by Professor Wole Soyinka in a lecture titled, When is a Nation? And his argument is that you don't have a nation because you have a flag, because you have national anthem. You have a nation when the people have a sense of belonging, when they have a sense of justice, when they think that that country works for everybody.
All right.
How many Nigerians think that this country works for them? Those are the fundamental questions at the heart of the national question that we have to address, so that the person from Umukwata will have portable water to drink in a village.
And lights.
And it's
We
not,
have water, we don't have lights.
And it's not only when you come to Lagos
enough light.
that you enjoy the luxuries of life.
Right.
And so that a man from Igbo land
Right.
will feel that this country belongs to all of us.
What luxury have you enjoyed in Lagos?
President Tinubu has a major task
All right.
to bring this country together and to promote the cause of unity.
All right.
Hold on there. That's the problem. Well, I understand where they're coming from, but they've made it a national issue. It's like in a family. Listen, in a family, there are 3 children. One no get food to chop at all. The other 2, they say, "Mommy, you gave me rice, but there is no chicken on it." The other one say, "Mommy, you gave me rice and chicken, but my stew is not enough." That's how I say it. The child, when they say, "Mommy, my plate is empty, there is no food on my plate." When that one wants to make a point, the one that doesn't have a chicken on the rice and stew will say, "But me too now, I don't have no chicken in my rice and stew." The other one will say, "Oh, I have, rice, but there is no chicken. I have stew. You will give me fish." They not go say, "Oh, I have rice, I have stew, but you put me fish. Why? I'm supposed to have the chicken. I am born to eat the chicken. We are born to rule. We must have the chicken head. You gave me the chicken feet." But the one when say, "Mommy, on my plate, oh, I can see my face, my reflection. There is no food. There is no rice on the plate." That's the way I see the argument you just heard now, from the perspective of Mr. Ruben Abati. That's the problem with Nigeria. That whenever the affairs of the Biafrans are brought into forefront, they find a way to now deflect and make it sound like, "Oh yes, in the Yoruba, this is." Yes. If you have been given rice and stew and no fish for a long time, you have the right to complain. Say, "Please, that you are giving me rice and stew, but there is no fish." What's going to happen now? You killed chicken now, but my food, no, there's no fish here, no chicken here. It's okay. But don't compare it with that boy who is starving, that boy who is hungry, that boy who sometimes may have to go to their neighbor house to eat some food. That boy who may have to go to China to go and bring in goods to make some money because he has no job, no opportunity in government. And to make it, we have to travel abroad. We have to go to Belgium to bring in goods. You guys don't know what really happened before we started going to the Western world to bring in goods. During the time of the civil service, when they were stopping us, the Igbos, from working in the civil service in Lagos and the rest of them, that could have been the time when there would have been an implosion, because suddenly the job we could only do, we could no longer get those jobs. But thank God that a few of us now went to the Western world. My uncle was one of those, the pioneers, when they went to Belgium and Germany. They will now go and see TVs, fridge, being dumped outside by the owners. And they'll be gathering those things every week in, week out, day in, day out. They fill up a container and they ship it down. During those days, those guys don't even have a job in Germany or Belgium. During those days, they couldn't even speak their language. All they could do is to pick refuse, dumped electronics and electrical gadgets, fill it up in a container, ship it down, and suddenly they were making money out of it. That single-handedly saved the Igbo race, because we are at the verge of becoming beggars in Nigeria. So when we were able to create an avenue to make money, to create our own wealth, to circulate the wealth amongst ourselves. Suddenly, we're now striving and doing well. But unfortunately, tribalism came again. Suddenly, they see ports in Port Harcourt, in LMA, all those places, they shut it down. And they said, this new money these guys are making, it must come through Lagos. And before you knew it, Lagos became the only port for the Igbos to bring in their goods. That's the problem. That even when we created our own job opportunity for ourselves, even when we created our own economy for ourselves, import and export, till this day they call us import and export. That's our nickname. So think about that. I want you to think about that. Despite we create the economy for buying and selling, importation, exportation of goods. Going to China, we opened the whole world. At the time when Chinese, we couldn't even communicate in their language, but we went to China. And we're doing business, transacting with China. But on our way back, we have to go to where? The land of the Yorubas. To clear our goods. And the taxation, what they will tax you. The demurrages you have to pay will go to the coffers of the Lagos government. This is the problem. People will send in goods. It will take them months to clear it. That means you are not moving at the velocity of the business transactions you wish to do. You are being delayed by the Nigerian system. But we, the Biafrans, we kept on going. With the little we had, we created an economy for ourselves. And as you know, in business, you are bound to make abnormal profit when you have the source, when you monopolize your source of having those goods or services. So when we're making our money, making our profit, building houses in Lagos because the seaport is close to Lagos, it makes sense to build a real estate, businesses, you rent shops, you buy shops, you expand, and then suddenly, due to tribalism, they turned around and said the Igbos are taking over Lagos. The Igbos are taking over Lagos. Until this day, we are still going through the debacle of life, where they say in one hand, they believe in one Nigeria. In one hand, they say they believe in one Nigeria. But on the other hand, when you want to vote for your candidate, say, no, do not vote for this candidate. If you do, we shall throw you into where? The lagoon. We shall destroy your businesses. We shall burn down your houses. Iyashukudi, no come out. Iyashukudi, no vote. No come out. So this is the complex nature of Nigeria. This is why we, the Biafrans, cannot conform in a country like Nigeria. Because everywhere we go, there is problem. There are stumbling blocks trying to slow us down. Challenges trying to slow us down. If we like the other tribes that only strive in running a government, in being in Aso Rock, by now would have been the Almajiri of Nigeria. But God said no. Out of Sherlock, we explored outside of Nigeria. And through Denmark and Belgium, most especially Belgium, may God bless Belgium, because they were the first to really give us our breakthrough. From Belgium to Germany, we're now doing our stuff. Then suddenly China, out of nowhere, and some of the Asian tiger countries, they opened up the door for the Igbo man. That's way we don't care about the affairs of Nigeria no more. We don't care about their politics no more. We don't care about their government no more. We don't care about their presidency, because the government don't offer us anything. We do it by ourselves. So all what we are asking for from that zoo called Nigeria is an international seaport and an international airport. Then take the rest and go. We don't care. You can keep on ruling yourself as president, keep on stealing the resources. We don't care. All we need is the enabling environment to govern ourselves. Because when it comes to business, we provide business. We create business for ourselves. Hence, we need Biafra, because we have tried for too long. That child who has not been served food for too long. We've been crying for too long that we are hungry. You give us plate, but there's no food. No rice, no stew, no beans, no plantain, no fish, no chicken. But the other tribes, they have rice, they have plantain. They are arguing about fish or chicken. Like my uncle some years ago when we were kids, they came and they reported my mother, say, my mother gave them in their rice sardine. She didn't put chicken or whatever. And my dad was so angry with her. How dare you, woman? How dare you? These guys, they've been enjoying chicken and meat for the past 2 weeks. They came to stay with us for holiday. But unfortunately, the freezer was so, as in the meat in the freezer was so, blocked. And my mom said, okay, let me just quickly make a quick, a makeshift rice and put sardines and the rest of them for these guys, while she turned off the freezer for it to melt a bit and all those things. That was what she did. So when she made a rice, the jollof rice with sardine, geisha, all those things. Big man food now, but back then, my uncles, they ate the food, they were happy, but in the evening, they reported my mother to my father. And my dad was so angry. So that's how spoilt my uncles were. That just for the first time, they ate sardine and there was no meat in the food. They felt insulted. Hey, yeah, man, I rest my case. For those that have ears, let them hear. For those that have ears, let them hear. Biafra is the way for us. That's the only way. I have looked it through and through. I have carried out as much analysis as possible. How can we conform with Nigeria? How can we make peace? There is no other way. The only ones who are enjoying are the Biafran or the Igbo politicians in the Nigerian government. They are the only ones speaking that, oh, Nigeria is good now. Everything is good now. They are the only ones happy. And their children, don't get me wrong, their children are having the best of life too. So they are the only ones happy the way things are in the Southeast. But we, the real ones, we who are working hard in the Western world, we who are having a better life in the Western world, we are saying no. We want our people to enjoy this freedom that we have. This same freedom we have in the Western world. We want them to experience life the way life should be. That you wake up and when you're praying, you ain't praying to God for your daily bread. The last time I prayed to God for my daily bread was when I was in that zoo called Nigeria. That was the last time I ever prayed to God for my daily bread. Because here in the Western world, food is not the problem. Here in the Western world, job is not the problem. As long as you have your documents right, job is not the problem. Food is not the problem. Eh? Think about that. Logistics, if you want to travel, you can travel from just 10 minutes from where you live. You can take it. Everything is easy. The government have brought everything to you at your doorstep. But in Nigeria, no, the Igbos must go to Lagos. You must share the money with the Lagos government before you leave the country. If you are buying goods, you must share the money with the Lagos government to clear your goods. Think about that. So when we say we are marginalized, that's what we're talking about. That's what we mean. I'm saying this on record. The only thing we need is a seaport and an international airport. I'll leave the rest. Keep the rest. Give us those two things. Keep the rest. That's what we are asking for. Just those two. Keep the rest. Take the gold, take the oil, no wahala. But we are not lazy people. We don't believe in oil and gas and all those nonsense. We ain't lazy. What will you do when the oil and gas dry up? What will you do then? And they say there is dignity in labor, there is joy, there is fulfillment in your heart. When you spend the money you make with your sweat, you feel good about it. But those who are stealing the money, despite they've stolen billions and trillions, they are still not happy inside. There is that quest to steal more. It is unfulfilling when you steal and make your way through. Your children will become something else. They'll be living a fake life. They won't have that fortitude to be men, to reason like human beings. Because from childhood, all they've done was take. So what they do here in the Western world is they do drugs. Yes, they drive the best cars, expensive, but they are not happy. They are not fulfilled. They are not fulfilled by a family, a parents. That all they did was take from the system. So what do you expect your sons or children to do when all they saw from you was steal from the people? I rest my case. For those that have ears, let them hear. For those that have ears, let them hear. No more talk.
Yeah, check me out. Superstars Media. Lord Logan, Bloomington, Lord Logan, and it's Wild Flora Show. 1914 amalgamation is what we dying for. 3 nations to 1 nation, ever since annihilation. Nepotism is nonsense. You and you, clap your hands. Biafra gonna come, clap your hands. Biafra, Oduduwa, we're free now. Freedom is gonna come, we're free now. Yeah.